Good morning from Chessington, World of Adventures. And yes, we are back at Chessington, but it is one of the only theme parks currently open in the UK. And to be honest, how long it'll be open for, who knows? Who actually knows how long it's going to be open for with everything that's going on in the world at the moment. But for now, we're at Chessington. So quite a lot has changed, and you know, we're not doing a separate update video, but here is the blue Barnacle. You can see that all the new fencing's being put in, so obviously the size of the boat and all the footers and everything is all set and sorted. And it's going to follow a very similar path into the station area, which they're currently grinding out now. As it stands, no sign of the boat, but obviously we will keep an eye on that as time progresses. You know, again, some places are closing, some places are staying open. It'll be really interesting to see exactly when the blue Barnacle will be setting sail. However, you'd like to think that if the park does need to close, that indeed the boat will open with it next time. So yeah, Chessington, here we are. So there's a few things we want to catch up on today, which we couldn't do last time. One of those is Toon Blaster, so we do want to get in Toon Blaster and see what's going on in there. We want to check in the progress on the Rainforest as well, see whether we can get any more footage there. We have heard the capybaras have been moved now, so we can check in on the capybaras also. And yeah, we just want to have a really sort of chilling and, you know, relaxing day. I have a feeling it might be one of our last for a while. Yeah, you know, we want to get on some rides. We can get on some rides. You've just seen then we've been into the Vampire. The Vampire's had some more additional theming over the week or so since we came, which is great to see. It's looking really, really fantastic in there. Obviously, I've been riding the Vampire since 1990, so I've still seen the station in better condition than what it is now, but that is a massive step forward. I still like to see some of the old theming re-added, some of the cobwebs and bits and pieces. You know, when you look at the Gruffalo ceiling, I don't buy into the health and safety of them not being there, which is why they were removed. I don't buy into that at all. Fury, people on Fury, people enjoying that today. That's definitely a ride we'll be tackling. Yeah, we're in no rush. We're in no rush today. The park is fairly busy, to be honest with you. People are still coming out at the moment while they can and while places are open. So, yeah, let's soak it in. Let's see what we can find. So all the fences have been finished here. Look, they look nice and fresh, don't they? Well, okay, apart from that one over there. I don't know what they're doing with those ones, but certainly these ones look really, really good. But yeah, it's Fury time. So there's the Rainforest there. It's one of the entrances to the Rainforest. Well, it's a great spin on Dragon's Fury. I love that coaster. It's the best spinning coaster we have in the UK. I know people are always sort of, oh, you know, Spinball Wizard's better, but it's really not. I'm really, really sorry. Now, we said we wondered what we would do with this, but I still don't like the way they positioned this in the back. I really hope that's changed over time. And here's the Gruffalo Arena. And of course, poor old Ramesses, which is no longer there. So we will go into the Rainforest later on, obviously, and have a little look around. And you know, we might see if anything's open, maybe ride a ride or two. I don't think everything's quite sorted yet, mind you, because you know, the river rafts, well, yeah, they need some love, requiring some love. Maintenance nightmare is what people tell me this ride is. But it does fit in here really, really nicely. However, Toon Blaster is open, and you can see as well, it's worth pointing out, that they've got the new queue line boards. So I mean, Chessington have been having problems with queue line boards for a couple of years now, and they've been appalling. And these are more similar to the ones they use at Fort Park. In fact, they might even be the ones, exactly the same ones they use at Fort Park. I wouldn't say they've been integrated very well with the boxes next to them. The one bound by the Gruffalo kind of overtook the sign. However, they seem to work, which is a real step forward. Real step forward. So here we go for our first look at Toon Blaster in 2020. So it's had a new set of music inside. We do know that, and I believe it's been made slightly darker. Oh, actually, while we're here, look. Here's a lovely view. Look at that. Oh, that's a really nice view, that. Of course, the whole Rainforest area is a beautiful sign, beautiful 3D sign they've actually installed for the Rainforest area. But anyway, where were we? Where were we? Toon Blaster, that's right. Now, we don't seem to have had a lot of work done outside in particular. I mean, a lot of the murals and things were redone over the last season, to be fair. None of this has been redone, which is a bit of a shame.
It's now time to remove your spectral blasters. You are ready now.
Wow. So let me tell you, I made the stupid mistake of going on one of the forums. I'm not going to mention which forum I'll go on to look at it. And to be fair, I stopped going on the internet forums a couple of years back now because of the people on there that are just so negative and just so sort of anti everything that everyone does. So I stopped going on there, but I just thought, you know, for the first time, genuinely, for the first time in about a year, I went on the forum to see, oh, what's people saying about Tomb Blaster? And I hear music's generic, music's boring, music's out of time, effects are poor, your lights aren't working, no targets are working or anything like that. And I was just like, oh, I really wish I hadn't done it. But let me tell you now, let me just tell you, that is very, very special. You know, again, I've been riding this ride since it was the Fifth Dimension. And, you know, the Fifth Dimension was good, don't get me wrong, it was good. You know, in terms of interactivity, though, and even storyline, to be honest, it wasn't the most interesting rides. I know it's like a cult favourite in the UK, but it wasn't spectacular. I genuinely think the original Terror Tomb was better than Fifth Dimension. Shoot me in the comments, by all means shoot me in the comments. And then of course it went to Forbidden Tomb and then to Tomb Blaster. I think the first section of Tomb Blaster when it opened back in 2002 was good. I think it kind of lacked a bit of atmosphere, and then obviously over the years it's just got worse and worse and worse. And last year was appalling. You know, the music was appalling, the targets were appalling, the scenery was appalling. But that is a very different experience. I don't know what you can see in the low light, and I want to do a bit of testing before I say as well about targets and things. So yeah, we're going to go back on it, not straight away. We are going to go back on it, and just, you know, before I give a final sort of verdict. But let me just say, I think the music is incredible, and it fits the ride so much better. I had nothing against the old music. It was really upbeat though, and it being upbeat was just, yeah, it kind of took away the dark sinisterness of what this should be. So yeah, I think that, you know, I can hear a kid crying in the background now. I think that's going to happen a little bit more, but, you know, given that Ramesses Revenge has disappeared over there, you know, Gulliver's are opening an inverted ride and Portons are opening a massive swing this year, you know, for Chessington to take a move to actually make this a little bit more Ghost Train-like, fantastic. For now, we've left some clips in of what was inside. We need to go back in before I give my kind of final verdict on it, but from first impressions, that was incredible. Well, we were going to hit Rattlesnake, but sadly it's not open. I don't know whether or not it's a late opening today. Not really sure. This cue ball doesn't seem to work with the rest of them do. Scorpion Express is going around, but I think we're going to go and grab a drink, I think. For those that haven't seen the new map, here's the new map. You can see that the boat is listed as blue, and of course the rainforest in the middle there. Yeah, nice and fresh. Let's hope they get to use it this year. So here is the rainforest. They're still doing a bit of work on the rafts, but there are actually people on the Jungle Rangers. Now again, I still want to see this changed. It worries me they've put a sign up that they're probably going to change this. But let's see whether or not we can see the good old capybaras. Big question is, where's the capybaras? I see no capybaras. All right. Well, I don't see the capybaras anywhere, but there are tortoises in there. Turtles, tortoises. They're big ones as well, actually. Did they have those? I don't recall them having them. They might actually be new. They might actually be new. Answers on a postcard. I genuinely can't remember. Now we're going to head into Land of the Tigers, and we're going to head over to Tiger Rock. It's a beautiful day. I mean, tigers look going up across. He's going across the bridge now. We'll get to see him in a minute when he goes across there. Oh, it's beautiful. There he goes. Look, he's going back down there now. Been up at the doors here. I thought this might be a long walk round. Let's see if we can see the tiger coming over here. Oh, they've had a right pour in it there, look. Look at the state of that. Disappeared they have. Hopefully we get to see them on the ride, as they're clearly floating around. Just feels, I don't know, Chessington just feels different this year. It's really, really nice, because last few years, and everyone knows this is my favourite park. I will keep saying it, my favourite park. I supported this park more than anyone else, and still we're not allowed to come anywhere near it. But still, regardless, you know, it just feels so much more relaxed. I mean, sure, that, you know, some touch-ups on here would have been nice. The old green's starting to show through, but some of the changes they made for this year have been amazing. You know, in preparation for next year's big drop tower, which is coming in obviously to replace Ramsey's Revenge. It'll be really interesting to see what they do. You know, if the parks have to close, my guess is they're going to be closed for at least a month. It might be longer, but they might be closed for at least a month. It'd be interesting to see, you know, whether they just lock down completely or whether or not, you know, they carry on doing some work. You know, so it could be a really good opportunity to, you know, really tart the park up, in honesty. But it feels so much more open. I mean, I swear there used to be more here. This looks really, like, open. Love it. Absolutely love it. I think it looks really great. But we're going to go on Tiger Rock now. It's quite a warm day. I say it's quite a warm day. It's not a warm day. I'm not taking my hood down today. It's not that warm. But it's nice to see the sun out. And Tiger Rock is walk on. See Mr. Tiger in the background. Look, as we come down the drop there, it's great to see him. See him through the window. Well, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day here at Chessington. It is a bit nippy, the wind's catching up. I want to get my ears get cold. That's when I always feel cold, when my ears get cold. We've just been on Tiger Rock. Again, running really smoothly, to be honest. There's no smoke effect in the tunnel, but everything else seems to be working okay. We obviously, I obviously got my own boat. I've got my own boat because, you know, we're not being made to share. But yeah, you know, there's quite a lot of people here enjoying everything. The shows are open, so we have noticed it looked like Room on a Broom was closed earlier. I don't think that's going to be opening today. Dragon's Playhouse was indeed shut up and locked. Same with Canopy Capers. We will go around to Amazon and just check out Amazon to see if that is. No word as to why Rattlesnake's closed. I don't know whether or not it's going to be a late opening. Perhaps it'll be a late opening, and we're not sure about Safari yet. Because Safari generally on an off-peak day, or indeed a day where, you know, you have Merlin pass holders and anything like that, any kind of day like today tends to open a bit later. So we're going to wander around there now and see if there's any indication of when it's going to open. Funny enough, the cue board for that, and we will show you, is now at the entrance area to the walkway opposite where the Dumbos used to be, so you can see if it's open and closed before you walk down there, which is really handy. That said, you know, it's a nice day. I think we're going to have a look at the animals. We couldn't find the capybaras. Can't find them anywhere. I'm sure they're there. And as the jungle ranges is open, I think we'll run the jungle rangers as well to check that out and see what animals we can see on there. We saw the turtles, tortoises inside. I think they are new. I'm sure they're new. I don't remember seeing them anywhere in the park before. Someone's going to tell me otherwise. But yeah, Tiger Rock. We definitely want to go on Vampire again. I definitely want to go on Dragon Sphere again, and I definitely want to go on Toon Blaster again, because that was something special. So there's a lot to do. It feels really relaxed here. I'm kind of avoiding Wild Asia. I think over in Wild Asia I'd only want to go on a Cobra, which has been running absolutely appalling even since I last come not that long ago. People have said it hasn't improved, so hopefully they can get that fixed up before the park gets really, I say really busy, before the park is fully open and it gets you know, really busy. But yeah, relaxing. You know, early theme park months are meant to be relaxing. I know with all the crisis going on in the world at the moment, most important thing is to stay safe. I've got sanitizer with me today. Every 10 times you sanitize, you need to go and wash your hands. That's exactly where I'm going now. So of course, we were first to reveal last time that the Land of the Dragon sign had been painted, and since we came last time, this has been completely done out. We're not going to go in there, but as you can see, the play areas are all closed up. The Dragon Playhouse is closed. Canopy Capers is all closed up. But there is a reason why I'm walking down here. So after many years, in fact, after 16 years, this lonely dead end with this poor little rocking tug ride, which actually isn't open today. Add a bit of fury. So Griffin's Galleon isn't open today. I don't know why it's not open today, to be honest with you, but it's not open today. Look at this! Hold on, hold on. Whoa! Whoa! Wow! Hold on. I'm going to do it again. 16 years of dead end down here. Wow! Now then, interestingly, I believe this was made a dead end back in 2004 when Land of the Dragons opened, because they wanted to make it an enclosed kind of family children's area, but the whole park has made absolutely no sense. And Griffin's Galleon's often forgotten about. You know, if you need to do, you know, if you want to get on rides and things, Griffin's Galleon's a really easy one to get on, because no one comes down this bit, no one comes down here. But now you can walk through and then you end up at Elma's Flying Jumbos. There's Elma, look, love a bit of Elma. And of course the tiny trucker, so it really opened this area nicely. I mean, granted, you're kind of walking under the mechanics here. It'd be really nice to have a Land of the Dragon sign. It'd be lovely to have a Land of the Dragon sign actually. But you end up at Elmer's, which I like that. Now this entrance hasn't really been tarted up at all. I love the sign, I don't like the wood. I don't like it at all. And of course we do have, no, it's closed. We do have a close, I just don't like the entrance. It says it almost is closed. Is it closed? Well, there's people queuing. I don't think it is closed. And I'd still like to have seen a centrepiece on there. I think a centrepiece on there, or even something on top of there, would have been, you know, really finished it off nicely. You know, people saying they put AstroTurf down the bottom, so it didn't get covered in rubbish. But we'd already told you on an update, it is stoned, and I really hope it doesn't get covered. I really hope they do keep it clean. And at the moment, it looks really fresh. Yeah, looking good. Love a bit of Elmer's. Love a bit of Elmer's. So whilst there is a sign saying keep 2 meters away, I don't think this is going to be opening today. I mean, it's nice to have a cue board, but was there really nowhere else to put it? Okay, well again, you know, it's something for them to work on, isn't it, I guess. But yeah, it doesn't look like Room on a Broom will be opening today. I don't know if the zoo show's on. I haven't seen the zoo show. I'm guessing it's on. It's still advertised as being on, to be fair. Now we're going to head into, I guess, what is this bit now? It's just a zoo, isn't it? I wanted to say Wanyama Village, but it's not. It's just a zoo because I want to see what's in the capybara bit. I did see the capybaras from Dragon's Fury. So we've just been on Dragon's Fury and saw the capybaras. They're in the middle. They've got like this little crossing part. So as well as the part that that we said before that they could go in, which you can see from the outside where we showed you just a minute ago, they also have a little crossing part to another bit as well, which then kind of locks off, I guess, when the ride's open, and they're all sort of scattered in there. I mean, Cody's going to be absolutely furious because you can't see them. You can't see them at all unless you're on the ride. Walking down here is a bit like walking around on a press night, isn't it, at Fort Park, where there's no one here. As you can see, nothing in there. As expected, Amazoo is indeed closed. Wow, this is quietest I've ever seen this area. Quietest I've ever seen it. Can't see the monkeys out as well. We'll go around the corners to quite have a look at the monkeys. But I think we're going to head up to Wanyama Village, have a look through there, and then go and see if Safari's opened. We are approaching 12 o'clock now. It doesn't look like Rattlesnake is opening. And we went round to Wanyama Village. Oddly enough, actually, you know, there's a lot of empty enclosures in there. Obviously the capybaras were empty on the way down, but in Wanyama Village, a lot of empty enclosures. I don't really understand why, to be honest with you. It seems to be something they suffered from. I mean, Creepy Cave suffered from that shortly before they closed it. But yeah, it's just a little bit empty. Now, the pathway to Safari was shut, so we're guessing that, or I'm guessing that Safari's shut, but I don't know. So we're going to walk around there now, and I'll have a quick look. I'll show you the new sign as well, they've put the new sign up, because it's nice to see whether or not it's closed before you walk down there. But I was kind of open at 12 o'clock, it was open. We went on Safari kind of last week, and the new audio is brilliant. You know, when we talk about audio at the park, we talk about the Tomb Blaster, we talk about, obviously, got the Rainforest area as well. You know, it's all got new audio. It's really freshened up the place. Vampire, of course, we forgot Vampire. It's really freshened it up, and I am a huge fan of the Vampire music, and I still can't quite get to grips with the fact that it's gone. That said, real fan, real fan of the way they've done it out and everything. And of course we will be checking out Vampire again today, and we will be checking out Tomb Blaster. But let's just quickly wander around. As we said, we're not using the extended queue line today for Tomb Blaster, so we can't really get a view over here, but I've seen a couple of pictures. It all sort of looks like a hole. So yeah, you know, this whole area seems to be quarantined off, but you can see now they do actually have the sign here to say that it's closed. Yeah, it's not opening today. It's not opening today. That's a bit of a shame. So with the virus obviously around, you know, quite a few rides and attractions have kind of succumbed to it, to be honest with you. That's one of them. We did say that Rainforest racers, start again, we did say Ramesses racers would change. They've changed the Rainforest racers. So we're now going to wander into the Rainforest. Seems to be the place where everyone is at the moment. I think the log flume has reopened. Yeah, so let's take you in. We'll have a little look around. It's a lovely 3D sign they got. Lovely 3D sign. How wet are people getting on this? This is the question. There's a Jeep ride there, look. Someone said it was a soaker. It's definitely not a soaker, to be fair. Definitely not. And here's the turned around treetop hoppers. They look nice, don't they? And some of these stunning graphics. These are really nice graphics they got going on here. Loving these. Hand painted as well, not some kind of dodgy sticker. Some real effort's gone into that. Real effort's gone into that. It's lovely. So of course this area has been flattened out quite nicely. There's the Jungle Rangers. Again, some more beautiful. This is lovely, this is. And then of course out the other exit, just like, yeah, just out the other exit. So the old Toadie's entrance here, I don't like the way they've kept this end bit open, to be honest with you. I think I'd rather they'd have enclosed this, but they are using this now as a queue line. This has all been redone at the top here. and we do have another rainforest. But this is what I've always wanted from Chessington, and in and an out with the same entrance. So, you know, they don't just mix in. You actually know you're entering the rainforest, you know you're leaving the rainforest. You know, on the other side of that, they should have really the adventure point coming outwards, and then, you know, the same for every area. There's some really nice entrances, Land of the Tigers, Wild Woods as well, formerly obviously Transylvania, and now this. And yeah, there are some where you just kind of wander into them and they just sort of blend, you know, Pirates Cove, Adventure Point, and even Forbidden Kingdom now. It'd be nice when they do next year, if they make Forbidden Kingdom again, you know, a kind of an enclosed area before heading out to Safari. But this is a real step in the right direction. You know it's rainforest, and you know you're heading in and out.
First up is the toucan with its really large yellow beak. Did you press that button? The creature here is an orangutan. Quickly, press the button.
Please keep your arms, legs and binoculars inside the bar.
So there we have it. There is the river raft ride. That was entertaining. Quite wet as well. It's certainly not a soaker by any means, but it's definitely wet. So this is an ABC ride. It's got a little plaque inside, so we know it's an ABC ride. You know, it's certainly not as wet as the one we've been on Clarence Pier recently, but it is certainly wetter than the Tiger Rock ride. Now, we did say originally we thought we might be able to fit 3 in a boat, but that's not going to happen. It's either one adult or one adult and a child. There's no deviating from that. You are not going to fit 2 adults on that boat, and if you do, wow, it's going to be a really, really tight squeeze. So actually, this isn't a very long queue given summer months. Assuming everyone's open and everything, this could be quite carnage. Look at the restrictions here. All fairly standard, to be honest with you. But yeah, lovely. I said obviously we went on this down in Weymouth Sea Life, so it's not new to us, but certainly in this atmosphere and this surroundings, it's far, far better than even the drop into the crocodiles, to be honest with you. Really, really nice, really nice. What happens is you're loading 2 boats at a time here, so 2 go up into the station, you get out, both boats load, and then there's obviously a dispatch between them before the other ones come round. There are 6 boats on this, much like there are 6 cars on the Jungle Rangers. But yeah, really nice. Nice they put a roof on it for the staff. Quite pleasant. I think once it's grown up a bit, it will look really, really good. But that's the river raft ride. That was the jungle ride. We'll have a little compilation together. We're giving you some snippets. We're going to have a rainforest compilation together with some of this beautiful graphics down the side there. I've done really well at painting this up. Far better than kind of your average. Really, really nice. Really, really nice. But there's a rainforest. Treetop hoppers existing. Nice little area, not too big. It'd be nice to see some seating perhaps down here. There'll be people obviously waiting for this ride. There'll be people waiting for that ride, you know, for people that are on it, particularly this ride. I think, you know, other family members might be waiting for them to come on it. So it'd be nice to have some seating down here in the future. Don't know how relevant that is at the present moment, but it'd be nice to have some seating down here in the future for it. But that's the rainforest. I really hope you've enjoyed a look into the rainforest before we head on somewhere else. That was the second ride on Tomb Blaster, and I am thoroughly impressed. I'm really, 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 really impressed. It's not very often I'm impressed, because this ride has been a bit of a disaster, as we said, for quite a few years now. And it's really simple. There's not, I think there's only a couple of new bits in there, particularly at the beginning, but generally there's nothing new in there. It's literally used all the existing props, and I think it's fair to say that the props have always been really good. You know, the models have been really good. It would be nice to have some more movement in there, granted, but the models have been really good. It has just lacked story, you know, a theme, you know, the lighting. I'm hit and miss on the lighting. Some of it I like it a bit bright, maybe appeals a little bit more to the park's dynamic demograph, sorry, in terms of, you know, the children. However, we've seen a lot of kids come off saying they really enjoy the new one, and I much prefer it dark. I do much prefer it dark. I know you, for those that will have seen some of the POV, or indeed we're going to put it in the POV on the channel, you may not have been able to work out quite what's going on, but it's a lovely atmosphere. I love it. The problem is I love, obviously, a good ghost train. I love Halloween. I love the darkness of it all. So for me, the dark works better. I'll be interested when I get the boys on it, how they feel about it. Because Cody generally likes it a bit lighter, Kurt also likes it a bit darker. So I think it's going to split opinion, but I think beforehand, it also split opinion. So from an objective point of view, it's probably swung from one to the other while still saying sort of 50-50, but it'd be really interesting to see. The music is brilliant. The music is far better. It's a little bit more sinister, arguably. But you know, it does fit it much better. The music beforehand was just, it was just too loud, in your face. It didn't really create atmosphere in my view. And I haven't liked the music since Terror Tomb, when the old guitar people used to come out at the end. I mean, that was on another level. That was really on another level. The station area has been redone a bit, so those the wooden kind of separators, the queue separators, have been taken out and replaced with air gates. The ride hasn't had air gates before, which was a bit shocking, to be fair. They haven't had air gates, but they haven't had them before. And you know, again, I'm sitting on the fence on this one as well. It's nice to have air gates, but would have been nice to have themed air gates. You know, when the Vampire used to have exactly the same wooden structures with no air gates, it would have been nice to keep the wooden parts and have the air gates as well, which I haven't done, but it does look a lot fresher. The ride looks a lot fresher. The lighting is brilliant. It'd be nice to see some smoke come out the snake still, you know, to kind of tide it up a bit. Now, the targeting has changed dramatically. They've been moved. Some have been switched off. It's not a case they're not working. Some have been switched off. However, oddly, some of them work. So don't be afraid when you go on there to shoot them. If you can see them, even though they won't be lit up, shoot them, because some of them still work and reward. Oddly, it's really strange, they will reward on the old point system. So the old point system was 25, 50 and 100, depending on the colour. Obviously you can't see the colour now unless you memorised them beforehand. You can't see the colour now. So for instance, going round and up the first hill part, we'll actually just note as well that the boulder doesn't work at the moment. Whether or not that'll be coming back, I'd like to think so. And then at the top of the first hill now, it tells you you know, that you are going to be needing to shoot things that light up. Now, the new targets that are in there, seem to reward 225 and then 400 and 500. That's kind of what I was gauging. It might be 225, 350, 500. It's really difficult to tell when you shoot them, because it jumps up at such a rate. You know, it's difficult to tell. So your score will naturally be higher than what it was beforehand, simply because, you know, they're rewarding much more. So if you find any old targets, they're still recording 25, 50 and 100, and if you find the new targets, they're rewarding, I believe actually 225 is definitely the lowest, 500 is definitely the highest, and I'm pretty sure it's 350. You know, we'll try and go back on it today to find out 100%, but again, the colours aren't all the same. So although they flash different colours, they don't look different colours like they used to. So it is much more difficult to tell when you shoot them what colour one you're shooting. But it doesn't matter, because, you know, the children now will go on it and they'll score thousands upon thousands upon thousands, where perhaps before they were only scoring 300-400. There's going to be a massive difference, and it's going to be really more encouraging them to shoot things, particularly because it's a little bit darker in there. So yeah, massive thumbs up for Chessington World of Adventures and Toon Blaster. Want to watch a full POV, that will be on the channel with some kind of scenes from around as well, and as you enter, and also a little bit of music on there too. But yeah, we're on to the next ride. We've done a little bit in the rainforest. I think it's time for food. You know. Head back through. Poor old Ramesses. I am kind of hoping, because the interior now of Toon Blaster has been completely redone, I'm really hoping that when this comes next year, all this is refreshed. Because, you know, I don't like the fact that the wood from Tiger Rock goes right up and covers the front of there. It'd be really nice if they pulled that back so you could see the actual beginning of the building. It just needs a little bit of freshening up outside, and hopefully next year, you know, if they start this early, that'll be exactly what happens. Here's Elma. There's Fury. So that was a nice little break there in the burger kitchen, followed by a ride on the Gruffalo. Funny enough, the staff today have been absolutely fantastic. They really, really have. They weren't that happy in the Gruffalo. No real communication or anything like that, but staff here today have been brilliant, bearing in mind everything that's going on. And, you know, they tend to be, you know, keeping social distance and spacing out the rides and everything else. As we said, we have no idea how long they're going to be open for. I fear it might not be much longer. But here's Elmer, look, one of the new rides for 2020. I did forget the Adventure Point riders. So this was the old Safari Jeep ride that was over there, is now here. It doesn't look like it's open yet. I can't see any of the Jeeps. But it is here, ready to roll. And I love this green space. You know I love this green space. It's gone. So it does actually look like already that they've had a change of restrictions on this, because they got a little sticker over it. They got a little sticker over this as well. What I'm going to guess is obviously, you know, this isn't really a re-theme of Toadie's Crazy Cars, because it's a completely new ride, completely new track, completely new circuit. It is using some of the old concrete and things, but as far as I'm aware, it's all completely new. So I just wonder whether or not, you know, it's manufactured by different people, which is why their height restrictions change, and they presume that it's going to be the same as what Toadie's Crazy Cars was. But yeah, you can't ride it alone unless you're over 1.2. But it doesn't have a minimum height restriction. I have a feeling Toadie's had a minimum height restriction of 0.9. So quite interesting they've already changed it. I'm sure they're kicking themselves after printing that side and they've had to stick a little sticker on top. Let's hope no one peels it off. It's really disappointing how slow that is now. It really is. It just doesn't, it's not flying over, it's taking ages to go over. It used to fly over the dip, but such a shame. So what do we think? Treetop hoppers from this side look really good. You know, this is beautiful new signage. I love this, I really do love this. The Jungle Rangers is alright. It's alright. It needs growing up a bit. It's nice. You know, it's quite well put together. I don't think it's quite jungly enough, to be honest. But it's a nice little storyline. I'm not convinced the buttons in the cars do anything at all when you come across the animals. I'm not convinced they do anything. But it is nice. It's a new route. It's nice and smooth. 6 cars will really help the throughput. Children only in the front, adults only in the back. You know, there is a little bit to look at. As I said, the capybaras actually have a walkthrough. They can go over the track into another area. So it's disappointing in the fact that, much like the rhinos now, you're not going to be able to see the capybaras unless you go on Jungle Rangers, which might involve a long queue when the park's really, really busy. Frustratingly, and I mean frustratingly, when you go around this building, inside is all right. It's not amazing. It's a base camp for the adventurers. The monkeys have got in there and completely trashed it. I kind of get the way it looks and things. I don't really get the paint all over the wall, to be honest with you. But on the outside, where this side is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, you know, murals and everything like that, the other side's been painted. And yeah, that's great, it's been painted, but they haven't painted under the bush. So as the leaves have come off already, you've got half the wall green, which is the new paint, and you can see the rest of the wall is purple. The rest of the wall is purple from Toadie's Crazy Cars, and it just seems like a total oversight that we haven't noticed that before, the one we've done so much work. And you can even see here, actually, look, you can see as an example here where the painting has stopped. where they've gone green and it's gone back to the black. So, you know, they need to come across with a paintbrush and certainly sort around the other side, because if you lift any trees or any bushes up or anything moves from there, you can still see the old stuff, which is a real shame. But it's an 8 out of 10 for me on the Rainforest. It's a cracking little adventure. It's a nice little enclosed. As we said earlier, we much prefer it when they're enclosed, these places, these areas. It really makes it feel a bit better. There's a beautiful 3D sign. It really is a beautiful 3D sign. And I think it will be really popular for Chessington. I worry about the throughput of all 3 rides in this area. All 3 rides I worry about the throughput. And I worry about this tree that's been concreted. But other than that, looking good. Looking good, the Rainforest. We've not got a lot left to do, in honesty, but we definitely want to try and, I think we want to try and get on Vampire again. So I've updated the graphics on the cue board here. I have to say, from a distance, it's actually harder to read than what it was before. It's not really a good enough definition board, to be honest with you. Tiger Rock, and then that is a little location symbol, and Land of the Tiger underneath, but it's not quite clear enough. You know, there's 3 headers at the top there. I can't work them out. I have no idea what they say. No idea what they say. I have no idea what they say. I think they're thrill rides, water rides, and something else, but I can't work it out. I think that's something that needs looking at, in honesty with you. But it is nice to see the actual cue boards working around the park now, which is more than what they have. Seastorm is open. We've given that one a skip today. I've decided I don't want to be bumped around. And yeah, we're going to be calling it a day very shortly. But what a day it's been. What a day it's been. Chessington World of Adventures, and that's the end of another adventure from here. Today the idea was we came and had a look at the Rainforest. Fortunately it's open. It's a bit late with the log flume opening, but it's open, and we've managed to take you around and kind of show you some of the rides and the attractions in there up and running, where of course we have done in the construction videos over the last sort of, well, 3-4 months, to be honest with you, and indeed the ones from February. We've then kind of looked around the park at some of the extras which has happened since we came for Friends and Family Day, which wasn't that long ago actually. In my head it was like months ago, but it really wasn't. Really wasn't that long ago at all, in honesty with you. That includes some more upgrades to the Vampire, some more flooring being done. That includes obviously Ramesses racers being changed to the kind of Rainforest racers now. So yeah, there's quite a lot of work being done. And of course we've gone into Tomb Blaster, and Tomb Blaster is spectacular changes up in Tomb Blaster, something really different. It's brought it back down. It's a little bit more dark, it's a little bit more sinister. It's really good. Really enjoyed it. So we don't quite know what's happening at the moment. You know, we are gonna pause anyway now on visits. By the time this video goes up, to be fair, everywhere may be closed already, but we are gonna sort of pause now on visits out and about. Even if they are open, most likely chances we won't be going. We will probably stay at home and kind of rest. Can't see any other options. So far, you know, the local parks are also open. Clarence Pier is open, Funland's open. We have been to Clarence Pier this year. We haven't been to Funland, so we're not quite sure what we're going to do with that yet. But from Chessington World of Adventures, there'll be some other videos up as well. That includes the Rainforest, that includes Tomb Blaster. They'll have their own little videos in there, their own little POVs, and of course this one from the actual park itself, a nice vlog from the park. We've got some construction for you of the new blue Barnacle. Yeah, lot going on. Fingers crossed for the parks that they can have a really successful year. You know, once this is over and done with, this pandemic, you know, fingers crossed everyone gets out. But from UK theme parks, please make sure you stay safe. We'll see you next time.